She's the friend who'll show up with coffee or wine when you need it most, but probably wine. Good vibes are on the way. Welcome to Erin O'Malley's Feel Good Frequency.
Hi, welcome back to Erin O'Malley's Feel Good Frequency. I'm Erin. It is wonderful to have you here on this Veterans Day. Normally, I put the podcast out on Wednesdays, but today's too special to not mention the veterans and to not honor the veterans. I myself am married to one. My husband, Jody, was in the Navy for 26 years. He actually enlisted when he was a senior in high school and was in special forces for a while, got his college degree, became a surface warfare officer, and I am so proud to be his wife. And I thank you, if you are a veteran, you are so brave, so much braver than I, and it is truly an honor to speak with a veteran today. His name is Adam, and the things that he has done in his town to make life better for veterans, to make sure that they know all of the programs that are available. And believe me, there are so many things that are out there just waiting for veterans to take advantage of. You have earned them. Please reach out to your veteran representative in your town, in your county, your state, and find out what you are entitled to, because it's probably lots more than you realize. And you don't want to leave what you have earned just sitting on the table. You're going to find out some of the things that are available for veterans and the way that they are so honored and revered, as you should be, in this one town in Abington. And this is just a small example of the great things that are happening, I know for sure, across the state of Massachusetts for veterans. Hope you enjoy my time with Adam on this Veterans Day. Adam Gunn, you are the Director of Veterans Services in Abington, Massachusetts. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me on a very busy Veterans Day.
My pleasure. It sure is. But yes, thankful to be here.
I'm grateful to have you. So you are a vet yourself. Thank you so much for your service.
Thank you.
You understand what others need because you have been there. And I know you don't love talking about yourself, but
You're not.
can you tell me when and how long you served in the Navy?
Yeah, so I served in the Navy for 20 years. I retired in 2020 and started this role as Abington Veterans Agent about 6 months later. And I've been here for about 5 years. So I love what I get to do.
That is spectacular. Thank you again so much. And you are now retired and you work tirelessly to help other veterans. And I am really honored to have you here because the programs that you have set up are making such a difference in your town. What you've done is it's truly remarkable. Can you tell me about the monthly meetups that you began at a place called Martin's Restaurant and how that really grew so quickly?
It's such an incredible thing that I get to be a part of. So in April of 2022, we were having a small gathering of veterans over at our senior center. And we had anywhere from 5 to 12 people that would show up at the most. And somebody suggested to me, I think it was Amy Bear, the director over there, suggested, why don't you go over to a restaurant? She suggested Martin's and see if you can hold it over there. And maybe that'll draw more of a crowd. So I went to the owner of Martin's Restaurant, Freddie Villa, and he was open arms with that idea and thought it was great. He had a back room in Martin's Restaurant, and we decided just to go with it. And then about a week prior, I came to talk to him, and I was like, Freddie, I think we have a problem. We are having so many people that are talking about this. He's like, I know, Adam, me too. I've been meaning to reach out. So what he did is he shut down half of his restaurant, and he does this on the first Wednesday of every month at 10 a.m. And we go there and we invite guests to come and speak about VA benefits or nonprofits or just things that veterans can learn and benefit from. And Martin's just provides the rest, the camaraderie of everybody coming, and they don't have a special menu. He opens it up to anything they want, and he even invites the spouses, which is just really incredible. So he feeds about 100 veterans and spouses every single month. Well over, I think he's at like 3,500 meals since we've started this. It's just incredible.
Wow. Oh my gosh. And it was one conversation with a local business owner that started something so fantastic. And that's a ton of donations on his part. And I love that he does this and that you really were the catalyst to bring it all together. Martin's had a tragic event. Can you explain that and what happened as a result?
So they had a fire in March 5th, I believe it was, of this year. They had a kitchen fire that they had to gut the entire restaurant. There was just smoke filled the entire place. So from wall to ceiling, they had to redo the electrical. I mean, Martin's has been around for 80 years. It's a family owned restaurant for 80 years. And we found out the restaurant was going to be shut down for at least 2 months. There's a lot of word in Abington that, we got to do something. We got to do something. And Freddie called me about 5 days after the fire and was just, giving me some updates on how everything was going. And it's like, Adam, all I hear is somebody needs to do something. And just right there, I was like, Freddie, I'll do it. Let me throw a spot fund up there. I asked how much it would take to keep his staff fully employed for 3 months while they were closed. And the community came together and they raised $38,000. And we kept every single one of their employees fully paid while the restaurant was closed, and they all came back.
That full circle kindness is incredible. Oh my gosh. It gave me chills to hear that. I love that they all came back and you were able to do that. I love
Abington
that.
is such a special community that really and truly just supports the veterans. Any needs we have, just like they just come to our doorstep, and we're just so supported in this community. Very blessed.
So what happened to those 2-3 months for the veterans? Did you not get together for those times, the Wednesdays, or what happened with that?
So another incredible veteran supportive restaurant, Sarcastic Swine, because this was coming up on April of this year, and that was going to be the 3-year anniversary, and they wanted to do something special. So Sarcastic Swine said, you know what? We don't want this tradition to stop. We're going to continue. We reached out to our American Legion here in Abington, and they opened the doors. And Sarcastic Swine came in and they provided free food. We raised more money for Martin's, had an amazing veterans breakfast with some incredible speakers as always. And then the police union stepped up and said, you know what, the next month that they're closed, we're going to pay Sarcastic Swine to come in and have the breakfast again. And it just goes to show what an incredible community Abington is.
None of the veterans missed a month at
Nothing.
all. And I bet that that is something that everybody really looks forward to as well.
It is. All the staff came there still, even though they were off. They came there. They served our veterans. It was just so heartwarming. And
Oh, I love that.
yes, it was amazing.
I'm so proud to live in this state. And Massachusetts is very unique in lots of ways. But you told me about something that I was really surprised about. The requirement here for veteran services, it is different than every other state in the country. Tell me about that.
So Massachusetts is an amazing place to live for veterans. But Massachusetts, I'm proud to work here and be a part of this town. And we have the Executive Office of Veteran Services, which started up around 3 years ago. But we require every city in town, Massachusetts requires every city in town to have a veterans agent. And we also have a low income program called Chapter 115 under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 115, and we support low-income veterans and widows, and the state reimburses the town 75% of any benefits that we pay out. So we really just embrace our veterans and widows here, not just when they get out, but continuing on even after they pass away to support the widows and widowers. It's amazing.
That is so special. It's so different. And I had no idea until you told me that every town, not just every county, but every town in this entire state is required to have a representative for the veterans in that town.
A lot of other states have county veteran service officers, or they have them at the Capitol or the State House, and they'll have a small number of them, but we have them everywhere. So as soon as veterans get out, they need to go to their town hall or city hall and go ask for their veteran service officer and go get support. We don't take money. Well, we can't take money. We're just here to serve and support our veterans and get them the compensation that they deserve and they earned.
Absolutely. It is earned. And I really hope that this is something that other states participate in more and try to get town to town to town a representative, because there is no group that deserves it more than you brave folk, way, way, way braver than the rest of us who serve this country. And I am thankful that Massachusetts does this. I wish every state did it. And I hope that in the future, all states adopt what Massachusetts does. That is just so unique that it is here and that our veterans have somewhere to go in whatever town they live in.
We do. And Massachusetts has the Massachusetts Veteran Service Officer Association. There's a couple hundred of us, from the veterans agents to the admins that support the work we do. We get together a couple times a year, a few times a year, and we support each other. We network and we mentor some of the new ones when they have sometimes a laundry list of questions of things that they don't know what to do, or maybe we have a veteran with a certain problem and we're not sure where to go or how to interpret this law. Just a wealth of information that we get together and we spend some time just supporting each other. It makes a world of difference in us able to support our veterans and do our jobs effectively.
Absolutely. I am the wife of a 26-year veteran in the Navy as well. He started off as enlisted his senior year in high school, very end of senior year. He went into the Navy. He was in special forces for a while. Then he got his degree and he became an officer and was even in Afghanistan for a year. And when he retired, I just remember that anxiety of before he retired, just kind of trying to guide him through it as best as I could. But I'm never served, so I don't know what that process is like. I just was there for him and went to all of the meetings and things that we did. But leaving the service and transitioning into civilian life is extremely difficult. And it's so different. I mean, to this day, he's like, babe, I have to do a physical. Can you call the doctor? And I'm like, all right, baby, I know you used to have people that did this stuff for you, or he just went to medical. If something was going on, we just went to medical. The littlest things that the rest of us have been doing forever. It's such a transition and it is so different. It's such a different world to not be in the military anymore. So people that are not part of this, that haven't experienced it in any way, don't understand maybe how important what you do is. And it's one thing after the next that you are doing. Can you tell me specifically about this special van fundraiser that you are working towards now? Because I think this is really, really above and beyond.
So it's not just in Abington. This is a well-known problem that veterans and also spouses of deceased veterans have a hard time getting to medical appointments sometimes, especially when you're aging and you can no longer drive or you have physical issues that are preventing you. But primarily a lot of aging veterans, when you can't get to your medical appointments, it's a barrier and it quickly can, run into some mental health problems and giving up on life. And it's kind of been one of the things that we've had in this office, at least in the last 5 years that I've been here, is constantly phone calls from veterans or from spouses that, my husband we can't drive anymore and I'm stuck. And, Ubers and Lyfts are expensive and they don't understand the apps on their phone. And we've really been wanting to do something about that. And there are a handful of other towns in Massachusetts, a lot of them bigger cities that can afford this. And Abington is a smaller town. And I'm so grateful to be a part of this little community. But we wanted to have a free transportation for veterans and spouses of deceased veterans to get to their medical appointments. Primarily the VA. We have 3 VA systems here in the Boston area. So those would certainly be something that we want to get our veterans to. Additionally, we're looking to help get to medical appointments within like a 5-mile radius, so they can be seen. Just seen it so many times where, once they can't get to an appointment, they just give up on life and depression can set in. And we want to do something about that. So reached out to our local Abington Rotary Club, and they are supporting us through this whole process, and we are going to raise $80,000 and get a brand new wheelchair transportation vehicle. To take it kind of a step further, we are wrapping the vehicle in this beautiful American flag wrap, and we want to honor our Killed in Action service members. So one of our amazing veteran community leaders is Dr. Reverend Christy Coburn, and she spent about 10 years researching our Killed in Action, interviewing family members, and she's been planning on writing this book to have these photos and stories so we can never forget those who gave their life and gave the ultimate sacrifice. She allowed us to take her work and put it on our website. So we're going to have a QR code on our van, and it's going to lead to the Veteran Services website so we can continue to never forget these veterans that gave their lives for our country, the freedoms that we get to enjoy every day. So right now we have $26,000, I believe, on the fund. So we've got a long ways to go, but we're going to get there. And I'm just grateful to this community and to the Rotary Club for all the support we've got so far with this project.
When did you start the fundraiser for the van?
In the end of June, we started.
Wow, that's a pretty quick turnaround to already have 26,000. I have no doubt you'll get to 80.
We will. We're working with a lot of people. I'm traveling like a politician right now to different Rotary clubs and VFWs and, talking about the need that we have, the desperate need that we have, and how we want to get there and support our veterans. And the town has committed to giving us a vehicle driver so we can hire another employee once we raise these funds. And I can't wait to start supporting our veterans in that way.
Oh my gosh, that was going to be my next question is, are you going to be in charge of driving everybody everywhere? But they actually now have a position that's going to be filled to be the driver?
Yes. So when I first started this, it was a part-time position between this town and another town. And they hired me on full-time. And then they eventually hired another part-time position. So I have my coworker, Lisa McGovern, who is just my saving grace here at work. And she supports all of our low-income veterans and widows and widowers of veterans. And now, we're looking to grow. The need is out there. We just want to make ourselves available as much as possible because the need is out there. Veterans are humble and they don't want to accept a helping hand a lot of times, but we're here to tell them we are here regardless, and we've got a lot of support.
Yes, and many of you aren't great at asking for the help either. So
one of the responses I hear often is, I don't want to take away from someone else who needs it, especially with VA benefits. And that's the exact opposite. We need people to apply for health care and use the benefits there. And the VA gets more money when veterans apply. So you're not taking away services by not signing up and not getting the help and the support that you earned. You're actually not supporting other veterans who could use the services.
Wow, I never thought about that. That is such an excellent point. If the government has monies allotted, but people aren't stepping up saying, I need this, I need that, then there's a chance that they can pull back going, well, there's no need for that much because we're not having anybody apply for it. Oh my gosh, I never thought of that.
And then going back, something you mentioned earlier, the transition and how hard it is and scary. And, after you give your life and raise your hand, whether it's 3 or 4 years, or you said 27 years, your husband.
26, close enough.
26. It's a big transition and it's scary. And they send you to a 2-week transition course, but it's overwhelming and you're just overloaded with information. And it's a scary thing. You go from just making things happen in the military and always having a steady paycheck, at least most of the time. But you have a paycheck you can count on. You have medical benefits and dental. You don't have to think about anything. You're just being taken care of, and you have a job where you know what you have to do. And if you raise up through the ranks, you become a leader and you're respected and you know what needs to be done. And then when it ends, it's a scary time. And that's what our veteran services officers are here for. We're here we have a wealth of information, mass hire and the Executive Office of Veteran Services and the SAVE team. And I could go on for an hour on all the benefits we have just at the state alone. And So when veterans are getting out, one of the first phone calls they should make is to their veteran service officer in their local city and town, and let us help them get through that.
That's such an important point. You have those resources to help them figure out what do you want to do. The fact that you're able to guide is so crucial.
And then VA benefits with disability, if you were hurt at all and, you broke your arm or threw out your back, multiple times, you don't want to wait. You want to come see us. You have to establish a service connection. And the sooner you do that, the better. And that's what we're here. This is our bread and butter and what we're good at. And we help veterans apply for VA benefits. Even if you've been out for a while, we get so many Vietnam era veterans right now. The spouse is pulling them by the ear, bringing them in for hearing loss. And, the mentality in the military oftentimes is sucking up buttercup. You get hurt, here's some Ultra, move on. But it doesn't need to be like that on the other side. And those small, maybe seem small ailments or things that happen to you will affect you 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years later. They can really put a damper on your life. And that's
Right.
what the VA disability is there for. One of the difficult subjects to broach sometimes is PTSD from what you may have experienced in the military. And it doesn't necessarily need to be that you were in Afghanistan or Iraq fighting combat. There's military sexual trauma. It could have been an instant that you saw somebody take their life and a situation that just really affected you mentally. We're taught just to keep it in and move on, but there's help out there and it can really benefit you by taking advantage of that. As hard as it is to want to open up, there's so much benefit to getting the support and help you need.
I'm so glad that you traveled down this road a little bit because the suicide rate for veterans is horrific. It is so heartbreaking. And I'm grateful that you brought that part up because don't think about it, move on, move forward. You're in the military, you have a job to do, you stuff it, stuff it, stuff it. And then when you get out, you have maybe time and silence and you're trying to figure out your purpose. And that is when it can really come out because it's been festering for so long. And there's so much help. I want every veteran to just know that people are there to help you. There does not need to be any sort of stigma or shame or anything. You're the brave one. You're the one that sacrificed yourself for our country. There's nothing wrong with asking for help when you need it. So I truly thank you for bringing that part of it up because it's so crucial.
It affects people's lives and it oftentimes comes out in other ways, whether it's, anger, marital problems and relationships with your kids and how you react to things, to reaching to substances, which are, all of a sudden no longer, illegal anymore. And it's something we can turn to. And a lot of people mask the things that they're dealing with now that they're out with alcohol or substances, and it can really get away from themselves and become a real problem. There's so much support to counter that. Yes, please reach out if you're struggling. Even somebody, I was just thinking about the spouse that comes in and brings them in for hearing loss. And I start talking about, is there anything else? No, I'm fine, but you served in Vietnam. Yeah, so tell me about it. Some of the stories I hear across this desk are incredible, but within 10 minutes, they're crying and in tears from, seeing their buddy blown up 3 feet in front of them. Like that could be PTSD.
Mhm.
That's something that you've been holding on and shoving down and keeping down. And it's time to let that go and get some help. I know it's difficult, but promise you things will be better on the other side. And the VA can help with compensation. Who doesn't need more money?
Sure. Exactly. Oh my goodness.
Tax-free money every single month that you can count on. It's there for you. And the longer you wait, the harder it is to service connect that.
Right. Oh my gosh. I'm so grateful for the work you do. So, being that it is Veterans Day, what do you have planned for the heroes in your town? Oh, I can't wait to hear about this.
So we have an amazing celebration that we do. We're actually doing it the day after Veterans Day on the 12th at the Council on Aging in Abington. And we just have the whole community gets involved to support this. At 10 a.m., we have a local cafe, Yaz's Cafe and Boutique, that comes in and provides free coffee and pastry, amazing pastries for the veterans. And at 10:30, we open the doors to literally a red carpet with the bullets, and they walk through one by one, and the red carpet is lined up by our police and fire and town officials and leaders and community leaders that support us throughout the year. And they clap and
Oh,
just see their faces as they walk through and they're honored. Just there's no describing it. It just feels good to give them the recognition and the honor that I know they don't want it, but they deserve it. They deserve our respect, and they walk into a 40 table resource fair,
wow.
from the VA and the Executive Office of Veteran Services to nonprofits to medical support of anything you could need to legal to it's out there. The Garden Club, the Rotary Club will be there. And then they come in after an hour resource fair, which we have the Abington band and the Abington choir that's in there singing and playing as they walk to the parking lot. But they come in and then they sit down and they have elementary school cards from all the students that
Oh
they
my
made for the
gosh.
veterans. And then South Shore Tech um, comes and they make and serve our veterans with probably close to about 100 veterans that we have come, and they serve them a beautiful meal. We have a guest speaker. We have middle school students that come and they read poems they wrote about veterans, which are so heartwarming.
Oh my
We have
gosh.
thousands of dollars in free raffle prizes from businesses and that were given to us and they're sent home. We have 100 cupcakes from Cake Connections that has individually wrapped cupcakes. They get home because they're stuffed. They even go home with sweets. It's just an amazing day that we can really spend to truly honor our veterans.
Wow, you thought of everything.
We have a wealth of volunteers in this community. We have a volunteer office where we have 7 volunteers that come in on a weekly basis and devote time with us and get to work on so many special projects that we just get to do more in Abington because it's not me. I don't have time for any of that. But they come and they support us. So if you're listening to this, it doesn't matter whether you're a veteran. We have a woman who we were supporting her 98-year-old World War II mother who was a nurse. Once she passed away, she's like, I want to serve and support. So she came to be with us. We just get to do so much more because of volunteers who just want to give back. We have a Christmas giving tree every year where our Daughters of the American Revolution, all we have to do is provide them the names of veterans and widow or widowers. And then we even reach out to our local Colony Health and they get the names of all of their veterans. And we get a Christmas wish list. And these wonderful ladies put a Christmas tree they decorate every year at Town Hall. They attach the names to a number so it's very discreet. And the community fills up every single one of the gifts. And then we have volunteers that just come out and deliver these gifts. We even have this amazing business called Pick a Party Place. They've got this huge bubble barge. And the owner's husband, Ken, dresses up like Santa and they deliver these gifts to the houses that they asked for. What heartwarming thing it is for these people that sacrificed their life and it still affects them to be able to still continue to support them 50, 60, 70 years later, some of them. It's
Oh my
amazing. And
gosh.
we can only do that through volunteers. Even if you don't think you have a way to serve, go down to your veteran service officer and see how you can get involved. It doesn't take much time to make a huge difference in the community.
Thank you for your passion, for all that you are doing. It's so great to see how excited you get about all of these projects, especially being a veteran yourself and knowing the difference that it makes to have somebody to reach out to if you need it, to have resources and that kind of thing. And there could not be a better person in your position than you. You are knocking it out of the park. Thank you
There are
so,
so
so
many
much.
others out there in Massachusetts who love what they do like I do and care about supporting their community. And we can't do that without the support of others.
Well, you are making the world a better place. I'm honored to have had you on the podcast. Happy Veterans Day. And
Thank you.
I am absolutely putting all the good vibes out for that fundraiser for the van. I know you're going to hit it.
Thank you, Erin. It was so great talking to you today.
Enjoy this day. You've earned it.
Thank you. I will.
Adam, thank you again. Look at you, still finding a way to serve this country of ours. You are so appreciated. And I hope you have a fantastic Veterans Day. If you are a veteran, I hope you know how in awe I am of you and your bravery and your service. And I truly want you to know that there are many, many opportunities for you to get whatever kind of service you need, any kind of help, and you are worth it. Now go get yourself a free meal because you've definitely earned that. Have a wonderful Veterans Day, and thank you again. See you next week. Bye.